Saudi Arabia's $2 trillion line city was supposed to change everything, but leaked images have revealed serious problems with the line, which prove it's doomed to fail. In 2021, Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman announced the country's biggest project ever, a gigantic lined city built in the middle of the desert. The line is part of a wider plan by Mohammed bin Salman, named Vision 2030, which aims to move Saudi Arabia's economy away from oil and into tourism, technology, and science. But as soon as the line was announced, many people were already pointing out major problems. The line is made up of two 500-meter-long buildings, running parallel across 170 kilometers of desert, with the two buildings having just 200 meters of space in between. The outside of the line will be mirrored, helping it to blend in with the desert. There are only 12 buildings in the world which are over 500 meters tall, but the line is the equivalent of building 4,000 of these at once, with the line being able to house up to 9 million people. The line will contain no roads and no cars, with Saudi Arabia saying everything you'd want will be in a 15-minute radius, allowing you to live, work, and socialize all within the line. When it was announced, many thought the project would never get off the ground, but by October 2021, construction had already began, which is exactly when three major problems began to emerge, with the first problem being massive delays and spiraling costs. New satellite images show us the excavation so far, a gigantic line going from the Red Sea through the mountains, but aside from the excavation, there is still almost no actual building. The line is about the same distance from Washington, DC to Philadelphia, or Paris to London. Just imagine a tall mirrored glass building going all that distance. It sounds impossible, and that might be what Saudi Arabia is realizing. Reports are already coming out that the line is being scaled back, after Saudi Arabia realized their plans were too ambitious, and at least some workers have already been dismissed. Recent satellite images show zero progress, with excavators and vehicles now nowhere to be found. The plan was for the entire 170-kilometer line to be built by 2030, but now only 2.4 kilometers will be built by 2030. This small area named the Hidden Marina, where residents will be able to sail under the city and then out to sea. This means only 1.4% of the line will be completed by 2030, a big step down from the original target of 100%. It's believed this is due to funding challenges, and foreign investment isn't coming in as quickly as Saudi Arabia hoped. Costs have swollen to $2 trillion, 4 times the original budget of $500 billion, meaning Saudi Arabia will now need to raise even more money, which could be difficult due to the second major problem with the line. That is, major human rights violations. The area where the line is being built isn't just uninhabited desert. There was actually people living there. Satellite images show how their villages have been destroyed, with Saudi forces being ordered to kill anyone who wouldn't leave. Videos show Saudi authorities removing these villages. So far, around 20,000 people have been displaced, with houses and schools being torn down. One man named Abdul Rahim Alawati decided to take a stand and protest, refusing to be removed from his house.
يعني أنا ما أشوف أكبر عندي ما في شيء أكبر من خروجي من أرضي ومن ديرتي. كل ما بعدها هين سواء السجن حتى القتل يعني أنا ما أستغرب لو يجوا ممكن يقتلوني في بيتي الآن.
But Abdul's protest did not last long, with him being shot and killed by Saudi special forces. Even people who mourned him online were arrested. So far, 47 people have been arrested for refusing to move, with 3 receiving long prison sentences, and 3 others sentenced to death, prompting the UN to send a letter to the Saudi government. Various European contractors have also pulled out, with one company walking away from a $100 million contract when the company realized Saudi Arabia had been bulldozing villages to make space. Another big human rights concern is the exploitation of workers, with as many as 21,000 migrant workers dying in Saudi Arabia since the announcement of Vision 2030 in 2016.
Workers queue for their wages, but the company told us it can't pay them until the Saudi government pays for the construction already completed.
All of these human rights concerns are putting off foreign investors and potential residents, which brings us to the third major problem with the line. People might not want to live in a giant greenhouse in the desert. Many line cities have been proposed before, but there's a reason none of them actually exist. People feel it's simply not natural to live inside a building, especially in the middle of the desert. People are concerned with the lack of privacy you would get, as well as the lack of space. AI will monitor the line, using data to find ways to improve the line. Many find this concept rather weird. Living in a building being spied on by AI cameras does not seem normal, leading to many saying they would never want to move here. Saudi Arabia is also very strict. Unlike more relaxed places such as Dubai, Saudi Arabia has strict laws on expression, dress, and behavior, enforced by religious police. Mohammed bin Salman has made the country more liberal, for example, finally allowing women to drive. But Saudi Arabia is still an absolute monarchy, which may put off foreign people from moving to the line. Another big reason why people may not want to move to the line is the heat. Some experts say the line will effectively be one big greenhouse, situated in one of the hottest deserts in the world. Traditional Saudi buildings are made of mud, stone, and clay, materials which keep cool in the heat. Glass, on the other hand, heats up, meaning it will be very hard to keep the line cool. In 2021, the Saudi desert hit a record high of 53 degrees Celsius, and in 2024, Saudi Arabia was hit with an extreme heat wave, leading to 1,300 people losing their lives. With climate change, this could get even worse, meaning the line could be deadly to live in if they can't keep the heat out. Which brings us to another big issue about the line. Powering the line will be expensive, and maybe impossible. Saudi Arabia have pledged that by 2030, 50% of their energy will be made with renewables, but today that figure stands at less than 1%. All of the line's energy will be renewable, but many say this simply won't work, as Saudi Arabia have nowhere near the amount of windmills or solar panels needed to do this. They would have to find space for all of these, and it would be very expensive. Some wind farms and solar panels have already been installed, but this is a drop in the ocean compared to what will be required. The line will use around 100 terawatts of energy per year, which is similar to the entire country of the Philippines, which has a population of 115 million people. The line's construction has already caused massive pollution. Building the line will generate 1.8 billion tons of CO2, which is what the entire UK uses in 4 years, meaning the line is nowhere near as green as Saudi Arabia claims. But an even bigger challenge faced by the line is water. Most major cities are built by seas or rivers, but being a desert megacity, getting water to the line will be essential. Saudi Arabia will use massive desalination plants to bring water to the line. According to Saudi Arabia, all of the desalination plants will be powered using renewable energy, something which has never been done before. Mohammed bin Salman remains confident, saying that he will do whatever it takes to make the line work.
They say in a lot of projects that happen in Saudi Arabia, it can be done. This is very ambitious. They can't keep saying that, and we can't keep proving them wrong.
But many question if the line is even possible. Right now, a small amount of progress is being made on the line, but experts say it could take over 100 years to complete, by which time Saudi Arabia's oil might have run out, meaning the line might never be completed. Do you think the line is a good idea or not? Subscribe if you haven't yet, and watch this video next.